Big breaking news out of Catalonia. FC Barcelona have triggered the €25 million release clause of Joan Garcia, and an official announcement is expected any moment now. But that's not all. Hansi Flick is already shaping his backroom staff and reportedly wants a former Barcelona midfielder by his side. What does this mean for the Blaugrana's future? Let's dive into all the details, transfer updates, and behind-the-scenes decisions. The saga is over. Barcelona have officially paid the release clause for Joan Garcia, making the goalkeeper a new player for the club, with only an official announcement now pending, reports Carlos Montfort of Sport. Legal representatives of the goalkeeper completed the payment of €25 million plus inflation adjustment to La Liga, officially severing his ties with Espanyol. The official announcement will be made soon as confirmed by Victor Navarro, and Garcia's presentation will likely take place once he returns from his holidays. Barcelona completed the operation with remarkable speed. In just 2 weeks, the club reached a 6-year agreement with Garcia and activated his clause. Although the club initially planned to finalize the process on Wednesday or Thursday, administrative delays meant the transaction took slightly longer, but the payment was successfully made. There were no negotiations with Espanyol, who will receive the funds in the coming hours and must transfer the player's registration to La Liga. At the goalkeeper's request, Barcelona accelerated the process, as Garcia wanted the move finalized as soon as possible. He had already signed his contract before going on holiday and had committed to Espanyol to ensure the transfer would be completed before June 30th. Garcia's signing is one of the most significant moves of the summer, not only because of the symbolic weight of transferring from Espanyol to Barcelona but also due to the major shakeup it signals in the club's goalkeeping department. The 24-year-old will now be Barcelona's starting goalkeeper in this new project. Wojciech Szczesny will serve as his backup, while Marc-André ter Stegen must either find a new club or accept a season on the bench if he chooses to stay. It looks like Barcelona's next signing is basically wrapped up, everything's in place and it's just a matter of time before it's made official. La Liga champions Barcelona have all but secured a deal for their next summer signing. That's according to sources in Croatia, who point towards Cardoso Varela as the player on his way to Catalonia's capital. The name of youngster Varela of course returned to the forefront of the headlines at Barcelona on Thursday morning. This came after word was forthcoming that Andy Barra, the 16-year-old's representative, had been spotted at the Blaugrana's training base. Barra is understood to have held a meeting with Deco, during which Varela's potential arrival was a central topic. For those not familiar with his name, Varela is an explosive young attacker who generally operates on the wing. He is currently plying his trade with Dinamo Zagreb in Croatia. And if word stemming from the Croatian press over the last 24 hours is anything to go by, then Barcelona appear all set to land their man, as per a report from Mundo Deportivo. In Croatia, where he is already playing, they are rubbing their hands together and are already declaring the signing to be a done deal, assuring that Barca will pay €5 million for the left winger, which could reach €20 million in variables depending on his performance with the Blaugrana team. According to reports, Hansi Flick is eyeing a former Barcelona midfielder to join his coaching team. He wants someone who knows the club inside out. Soon after Hansi Flick took over the reins of FC Barcelona last summer, the German tactician went ahead to bring in former midfielder Thiago Alcântara into his staff. The ex-Barcelona Academy graduate was hired only on a short-term contract to help Flick acclimatize to the way things ran at the club while also acting as a link between the players and the new staff given the language barrier. Thiago's time as Flick's staff member was short-lived as he had to return to England for tax-related reasons, but there had been talks of the ex-La Masia ace returning in January, although it did not materialize. Hansi Flick is still very interested in bringing Thiago Alcântara onto his coaching staff. He sees him as a key figure for his project at Barca. However, according to Mundo Deportivo, Flick is now eager to bring Thiago back to Barcelona as part of his coaching staff, and the former Spanish international himself is understood to be happy with the idea. Although his return was put on hold, the German coach continues to consider Thiago part of his plans now that the season is over. Soon after Hansi Flick took over the reins of FC Barcelona last summer, the German tactician went ahead to bring in former midfielder Thiago Alcântara into his staff. The ex-Barcelona Academy graduate was hired only on a short-term contract to help Flick acclimatize to the way things ran at the club while also acting as a link between the players and the new staff given the language barrier. Thiago's time as Flick's staff member was short-lived as he had to return to England for tax-related reasons, but there had been talks of the ex-La Masia ace returning in January, although it did not materialize. Flick's still keen on adding Thiago. However, according to Mundo Deportivo, Flick is now eager to bring Thiago back to Barcelona as part of his coaching staff, and the former Spanish international himself is understood to be happy with the idea. Will Thiago return to Barcelona? Photo by Eric Alonso/Getty Images. Although his return was put on hold, the German coach continues to consider Thiago part of his plans now that the season is over. Moreover, Thiago is also open to collaborating with Flick again, and both are currently discussing the best way to make it happen. That conversation took place in Formentera, where Flick invited his entire coaching staff, including the ex-Spain international, for a few days recently. The prospect of joining Barcelona's coaching staff is appealing to the former midfielder, but his exact role within Flick's team has yet to be defined. But with talks resuming, there is optimism that an agreement can be finalized for Thiago to come back to Barca in some capacity after his initial stint left an impact. So there you have it. Joan Garcia is all but confirmed as Barcelona's newest signing, and Hansi Flick isn't wasting any time building a team he trusts. With a former Barca player possibly joining his coaching setup, it's clear a new era is truly beginning at Camp Nou. What are your thoughts on these bold moves? Drop your reactions in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for all things Barca. Visca el Barca. Big changes are coming to Barcelona this summer. With financial pressure mounting and Luis Diaz at the top of their wish list, the Catalan giants are preparing to offload up to 5 players, and shockingly 2 captains could be on that list. But just as they ramp up their pursuit of Diaz, a major blow hits the club. The Colombian star may be staying put with a new 2-year extension on the table. What does this mean for Xavi's project and Barcelona's transfer plans? Let's break it all down, starting with who's out, who's staying, and what's next for Barca this summer. Let's get into it. Barcelona have officially kicked off a major squad overhaul ahead of the 2025-26 season. With the permanent transfer of Clement Lenglet to Atletico Madrid now complete, Fischages reports that the club is pushing to offload more players in an effort to reduce their wage bill and create space for new arrivals. This is a critical step for the Catalans, who continue to struggle with financial restrictions. The club knows that before they can register any big signings, they must streamline the squad, and that means letting go of players who no longer fit the project. 5 players expected to leave. One of the most high-profile names set to depart is Ansu Fati. After another injury-hit season, the forward has agreed to a move to Monaco. Only final details remain before the deal is made official. Ansu, once seen as the next big thing at Barca, is now seeking a fresh start away from the pressure of Camp Nou. Another name on the list is Pablo Torre. The midfielder does not feature in Flick's plans, and the club will look to either sell or loan him out. His technical ability is appreciated, but there's no place for him in a squad that is being reshaped. Inaki Peña, who failed to convince as a reliable backup goalkeeper, could also be on his way out. He is even open to terminating his contract if a suitable opportunity does not come his way. Furthermore, Marc-André ter Stegen is also under review. While the German keeper is not being actively pushed out, Barcelona will not rule out a late window sale if a strong offer comes in. His exit would create a huge space in the wage budget, though replacing him would be a challenge. Finally, either Ronald Araujo or Andreas Christensen could be sold. Araujo remains highly valued, but if a big money offer comes in, the club may listen. Christensen's position is also unclear, and his performance during pre-season could decide his fate. Barcelona's exit strategy is now in full swing, and with it, the club hopes to start fresh, rebuild wisely, and compete strongly under Flick. Barcelona continue to pursue Luis Diaz, despite several obstacles in the way of a potential move. The Blaugrana have made him their top priority for the summer transfer window, and feel that Liverpool will be open to a sale due to their own transfer activity. It was quite obviously leaked that Liverpool had rejected an approach from Barcelona for Diaz earlier this month, with the word from Merseyside that they are not interested in selling the Colombian winger. Barcelona took this as a negotiation tactic, and were encouraged by Diaz himself less than 24 hours later, with the star forward declaring publicly that he was in discussions with other clubs. Barcelona set €60 million limit for Diaz deal. Even so, Barcelona will have to find space in their salary limit to register Diaz. As per El Chiringuito, they have a positive feeling about a deal, following reports that Liverpool have now opened the door to negotiations. The Catalan giants feel they can get a deal done for around €60 million, and if they cannot, then they will turn attentions to Manchester United forward Marcus Rashford. Barcelona are operating on the assumption that if Liverpool complete a deal for Florian Wirtz, and make a move for another forward, they have been linked to Alexander Isak and Bradley Barcola, Then Diaz will become both surplus to requirements and a valuable way of raising funds. Barcelona may need major sale to register Diaz. Spoken about much less in Barcelona is their lack of salary limit space. The 28-year-old will no doubt arrive with a significant salary, and while any deal could be split across 5 years, they would likely require at least 20 million euros in their salary limit to register him, if they are in the so-called 1:1 rule. In order to be in that position, they may need to make a big sale themselves, with the likes of Fermin Lopez and Ronald Araujo linked to a move. Barcelona suffer setback as top transfer target leans towards signing a new 2-year deal with his current club. Barcelona's hopes of signing Ivan Perisic have hit a possible stumbling block, as a new report from Mundo Deportivo reveals that PSV Eindhoven have offered the Croatian winger a 2-season contract extension, and the player is seriously considering it. Perisic, who became a potential target for Barcelona in recent weeks, is seen as an experienced and cost-effective reinforcement as the Catalan club continue reshaping their squad for the 2025-26 season. The Blaugrana are prioritizing reinforcements in wide areas, with Luis Diaz being pursued for the left wing and Perisic eyed as a veteran option on the right, particularly when young sensation Lamine Yamal is unavailable. Stumbling block. However, while Barcelona have taken their time in weighing up a move, PSV have acted swiftly. The Dutch champions, for whom Perisic enjoyed a highly productive campaign last season, have put forward a 2-year renewal offer. According to reports, the Croatian international is leaning towards accepting the proposal, having enjoyed success with PSV both on and off the pitch. And there you have it. Barcelona's summer transfer window is already full of drama, surprises and tough decisions. Grimacing face offloading 5 players, including 2 captains, shows just how serious the club is about rebuilding. But with Luis Diaz possibly extending his stay at Liverpool, Barca may have to pivot fast if they want to stay competitive. What do you think? Should Barcelona go all in on Diaz or look for alternatives? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear from you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update on the latest football transfer news. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.